Today I'm joined by Mr. Richard Gage. He's the founding member of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, and he has been a practicing architect for 20 years. Mr. Gage, thank you very much for joining me today on the Corbett Report.
You're very welcome, James. Glad to be here.
Mr. Gage, could you start by telling us a little bit about your background and your organization? Who is Richard Gage, and how were you first exposed to 9/11 Truth?
Okay. Well, I've been an architect for about 20 years, and I went to USC, graduated in '86, and I've worked on many different types of architectural projects, including office and residential and retail. And right now, in fact, I'm working on a very large project in Nevada with 1.2 million square feet of retail and 360,000 square feet of high-rise office, and a couple of parking garages on this project. Altogether, it's about 1,200 tons of steel framing. And I was on my way to a project site meeting about a year and 3 months ago, I guess. And I heard on the radio some very shocking information, which for the first time, before that, I never really gave 9/11 a second thought relative to any kind of alternative theory or conspiracy theory, if you will. But David Ray Griffin was being interviewed on our local station here, KPFA, Guns and Butter is the name of the show. And Bonnie Faulkner was interviewing him, and I heard things that made sense to me intuitively. And I'd like to take the time to provide all that evidence that I heard to you. But initially, I was so shocked I had to pull over on the street and just listen. I really couldn't believe what I was hearing. And so I did a little bit of research and found that there was no other architects and very few engineers that I was aware of that were aware that the Twin Towers and Building 7, a high-rise that many people are completely unaware of, came down at virtually free-fall speed, all three of them, on 9/11, in very different ways that we'll talk about. So I determined that I had to get the word out, and so I started Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, modeled after 911truth.org, the kind of umbrella organization that kind of pulls together all the 9/11 Truth groups. So we now have 150 architects and engineers who have signed on to as members demanding a new investigation of Congress with subpoena power to look at all of this evidence, which is overwhelming, for the controlled demolition of the Twin Towers in Building 7.
So what does Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth do, and what kinds of activities does it organize?
So the question is, what does Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth do? And we're quite busy. As a matter of fact, we are going to New York to speak on the week of September 11th next week to two large conferences, and trying to raise awareness about the truth of the events of 9/11. I've got the schedule right here. We'll be coming back to Oakland and speaking at the Grand Lake Theater. We've invited 489 architects in the San Francisco Bay Area to come and see the evidence. We've written a 3-page letter, and it's really important that we reach out. That's what our organization is dedicated to reaching out to the building professionals because they have the necessary credibility, and it will turn heads and raise eyebrows in the halls of Congress and other places that we need to get to. We'll be speaking in Castro Valley on September 25th, San Diego, October 13th, Santa Cruz later that month, and then in Hartford, Connecticut on November 3rd. And we're doing a Southwest tour with Tucson, Dallas, Austin, Houston, and Tulsa, Oklahoma, possibly Oklahoma City, later that month in November, and then Cambridge, Massachusetts, December 15th. So I don't think it's going to stop or slow down. I think it's just going to keep on going like a steam train. We have 150 architects and engineers, and I believe in a year we will have 1,000 architects and engineers. People are just simply going to have to listen here at some point on a mass scale.